Okay. Hare Krishna. So, begin with Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yapravrajandamanapeeta apeta krityam. Dvaipayano virahakatar ajuhava. Utreti तन्मयतया तरवो विनेदुस् तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मणिमानतोऽस्मि यस्यानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् आध्यात्मदीप अतिथिर्षतां तमोन्धं संसारिणा करुणयाः पुराणगुह् रम्याससूनुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशताय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ करोति वाचालं मङ्गलं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं श्रीगुरुं देवतारं तस्मादहं विगतविकलव ईश्वरस्य सर्वात्मनामहि गृह्णामि तामनीशं नीचोजयो गुणविसर्गनुप्रविष्टो येत हि पुमानवर्णितेन भूतैर्महद्भिर्यमां पुरा प्रभु निर्माय शेते यदमोऽशुभूरुष भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मकं स्वलङ्कृविशिष्टभगवन् वचंसि मे यथाहरो भगवती नृणां भक्तिर्भविष्यति सर्वात्मनि अखिलाधारे इति सङ्कल्पवर्णयो। Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for this Krishna willing concluding session of our this unit of the special episode of Dhruva's Maharaj pastime, which was repetitively read by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with Gadadhar Pandit at the most confidential place of Govardhan in Jagannath Puri, actually Chatak Parvat, the place of Tota Gopinath. So it's a very special pastime. So last few verses are remaining, so we will do that. However, as we do every time, first we will do some reflections. First is on the glories of Bhagavatam, and then something in your remembrance from the previous section. So, glory of Bhagavatam, from this very section, we can see the 44th verse of this section only, that shows glory of Bhagavatam. Many verses actually in this section, because this Falashruti only. Maitreya vacha etatte abhihitam sarvam yatprushto ahamiha tvaya ध्रुवस्य ध्रुवस्योद्दामयसं शरितं सम्मतं सताम्. The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, whatever you have asked from me about great reputation character of Dhruva Maharaj, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaj. So like that he is doing. So here this verse purport, there is clear mention of glory of Bhagavatam. So you can see and how to approach Srimad Bhagavatam. So the glory of Bhagavatam is it speaks about devotees. You see, Narsim Puran speaks about Narsimhadev. Bhagavad Puran speaks about Prahlad Maharaj. So many chapters. And Vaman Puran speaks about Vaman Dev, but Bhagavad Puran spoke about Bali Maharaj. Mahabharata speaks about what Parikshit did, but Bhagavatam speaks about Parikshit's consciousness. So like that, there are so many pastimes. So it is all about, especially about the devotion of devotees. And there is no difference between the two. Whether we hear pastimes and activities of Supreme Lord or we hear about the character, reputation, activities of his devotees, they are all one and the same. But neophyte devotees, they simply try to understand Lord's pastimes and not very interested in hearing about activities of devotees. But such discrimination should not be indulged by any real devotee. And they want to directly jump to rasa dance and do not care to hear about other portions of Bhagavad. So here Prabhupada is strongly speaking about professional reciters of directly Ras Leela and other portions. They think that it is useless portion. It is for neophytes. So this kind of discrimination and abrupt adoption of Ras Leela is not approved by us. So what we are supposed to do? A sincere devotee should read every chapter and every word of Bhagavatam from the beginning verses. Describe that it is the ripened fruit of Vedic literature. Right? Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. Shukhamukad amrita drava samyuta. Vivata bhagavatam rasamaya. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhava. So devotees should not try to avoid even a word of Srimad Bhagavatam. Imagine how strongly Prabhupada is writing. So this is entirety of fruit. It is not that there is some seed, there is heya and upadeya. Means what? You take some fruit and some things you have to throw and some things you relish. But Bhagavatam is not like that. Everything has to be relished. Otherwise you can't relish anything. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Every word, every verse, every chapter. This is Srila Prabhupada. This Srila Prabhupada did that and he's telling us to do that. And he spent the entire night to write all this purpose. So he's saying every word. So this is the way, this is the glory of Bhagavatam. That we want to relish, then we have to relish each and every chapter, each and every word, each and every verse. And Sanatan Goswami also writes that. What is that? Prema Varsha Aksharayatena. What is that? There is one verse which says that. So it's not just an advertise or something to attract. It's a reality. That's the point which Prabhupada is making here. because it is non-different than Krishna. So you touch lotus feet of Krishna, or you see lotus face of Krishna, or you discuss about hands of Krishna. It's all Krishna only, right? All the 12 cantos are representing different bodily limbs of Krishna. So we have to be faithful, respectful, and eager to receive every chapter, every verse, every word, every purport of Srimad Bhagavatam. Although it may not be so exciting, so relishing, so interesting, so much understanding also, but doesn't matter, the disposition is important. How much you understand, it doesn't depend on our buddhi, right? Krishna, it is Krishna's prerogative. But we have to be very, so uh, this is Brahmaji is telling in, this is 2, 2.7 point I can show you. Especially the first few cantos, like now you have crossed almost, you are into fourth canto, right? So first few cantos you will see Srishti Leela coming so many times, right? And we feel, Arey, what is this happening? But what is supposed to be done is this. You can see this 2.7.53. I'm just trying to show that verse. How we have to approach very clearly this Srimad Bhagavatam. शृण्वतः श्रद्धया नित्यम. See, yeah, you are seeing this verse. Mayam varnato mushya ishwarasya anumodita. Shrinvatah shraddhaya nityam maya atmanam viyi. So even the Lord's activities with external energy should be repetitively heard. And how? Nityam is always. But with faith, it has to be heard. And not only that, it should be appreciated also. So that's what you see here. The Lord's activities in association with his different energies should be described and appreciated and heard in accordance with the teachings of the Supreme Lord. If this is done regularly with devotion and respect, one is sure to get out of illusory energy of love. So here also Prabhupada says that so many people go to directly Ras Leela. You see here, they should not foolishly jump to the activities of internal energy. First, we are in external energy, so we should relish external energy activities of love, so that we don't interact with external energy in a wrong spirit. So unless that is appreciated, we cannot go to the highest thing. So Prabhupada is telling the same thing here, you can see. And he is saying, first 9 canto, prepare the ground for hearing the 10 canto. So this is the methodology, and this is how we are supposed to follow. And and it has to be respectfully, faithfully heard. So same thing Prabhupada is telling here, and that is the glory of Bhagavad. So we should not be selective while hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, because it's not an academic book. So that is the glory of the literature which we are discussing. So any other reflections from the previous sessions which we had? Anyone wants to say? Previous sessions
So,
of
like you are
this.
glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm just remembering you give example of fruit. So Gaurgand Maharaj used to say, Bhagavatam is such a juicy fruit which has no skin outside and no seed inside.
Yes, that is the precise description of that verse only. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. This is the description is from the Gaur Maharaj is doing. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, Mataji, as always, you share something. Yes.
While going to the spiritual world, we pass through many planets, so we have to be very careful.
Yeah. And that's why we should not be allured by all that. And how is it possible? By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Because that is going to reveal to us whatever things are there, how they are temporary, and how they are problem causing, right? And what is the difference between spiritual world and these things? Yes, Mata, it's very important aspect you told. Yes, anything else? Any other devotee want to share? What we discussed in the previous session? It's a very, very important chapter, this 12th chapter. Extremely important. Nowhere else such detailed stepwise description of someone is going back to Godhead is given. His consciousness, his respectfulness, his dutifulness. So many things were described, right? So nowhere else is described. That's why imagine Mahaprabhu chose this section to be discussed in this. Yes, anyone else wants to share something? What we discussed last time? Some points, some remembrances. And all devotees can, if possible, switch on the videos to give darshan to other devotees. It is easily possible. It will be encouraged. Okay, so let us go ahead and complete this chapter. So we have covered till 35th verse. And this is what is a breakup of chapter, you can see. So Kuvera's instructions and benedictions to Dhruva. Achalam remembrance, constant remembrance was asked. So devotee one is a beggar of blessings from anyone and everyone. Then 10 to 16 is his rule and his renunciation. How he was. Then Dhruva's ascent to Dhruva Loka. This is what last time we discussed. So now glories of Dhruva Loka. Then there is Narad Muni glorifying the Dhruva Maharaj, his disciple in Pachita sacrifice. And then Falashruti. Very elaborate Falashruti, very important.
Roji, just I actually remembered,
Yeah.
like last time we were saying that how can Kuvera award the blessing if he does not have? So that
Yeah.
was one very interesting discussion.
Yes, Prabhu, sure. And I did ask few devotees and I have asked Radheshampu also. I didn't receive any reply till now. However, I asked some other devotees. They were mentioning this point only that a devotee is a beggar of blessings. So he wants well wishes of everyone. He doesn't say, you are not, you, how can you award me this? You don't, you yourself don't have this remembrance. So he is very respectful, genuinely. So Kubera wants to give something. He asks something which he likes, which he aspires for. So there is, I didn't receive any technical detailed answer. Anyone else has any answer to this question? So we also saw that how uh, one is discriminative in association and his aspirations are focused. So that also we saw. He's not judgmental about him, but respectfully dealing. So that point also we discussed. So let us go into this remaining chapter now. So text 36. So glory of Dhruvaloka, where he is going to reach or he reached. Prajamanam saruchaiva sarvato lokastrayo hanu viprajanta iti yanna brajantan trishuyen anugraha brajanti vadrani charanti yenisham. Now, someone can read the translation? 5 verses or something. One want to volunteer? Translation.
He he reached that shining.
This one, Mataji. Sorry.
The self-effulgent Vaikuntha planets by those illumination alone, all the illuminating planets within this material world give off reflected light, cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to other living entities. Only persons who constantly engage in welfare activities for other living entities can reach the Vaikuntha planets.
So who goes there? That is one topic, and how it is effulgent. That these are the 2 points in this verse. Here, Bhrajamanam. So it gives effulgence to everything else in the material world. And who gave Yanna Braja? Yanna Brajan Jantushu ye na anugruhit. Those who have not received mercy, those who are not merciful to others. So, abrajan means they na abrajan. Who jantushu ye ananagraha. They don't do merciful activities for other living entities. They cannot go. Okay, who goes? Brajanti Bhadrani Charanti Ye Anisham. Those who constantly are engaged in welfare activity of others. So here this verse is being spoken. So Prabhupada also elaborates these 2 points only in his purport. That who goes to Vaikuntha and who is so na tad bhase tu suryo na shashanko na pavaka. In spiritual world there is so actually Dhruva is actually the spiritual world in the material world. There are some Vaikunthas within the material world. So it is one of them. Shvetadip's one part is Dhruva. So it is spiritual world only. And that only elements others. That's what is the first paragraph you can see. And then Prabhupada writes about how the who goes. So such incessant welfare activities can really be performed only in Krishna consciousness. There is no philanthropic work within this material world but Krishna consciousness that can engage persons 24 hours a day. A Krishna conscious being is always engaged in planning how to take all suffering humanity back to God. So this is Prahlad Maharaja's mood. He doesn't want to be alone delivered, but he wants to deliver others. And this is the mood of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada is quoting that verse in his prayer also. And he himself delivered by it. So that's what is. So what we have to do, we have to just, Prabhupada gives us hope here, you can see. He personally becomes qualified to enter Vaikuntha Loka, such person. And if anyone follows such devotee, he also enters Vaikuntha. So we can become followers of such compassionate devotees. Because we have so much of passion and all. So we should be trying to assist and serve and please these compassionate, pure, perfected devotees. That is our hope. And what about others? Everyone else, all the karmi, jnani, yogis, they are all having selfish agendas and they are all envious purposes, envious activity. Can be karmi, jnani, yogi. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sakala, ashant. That's what Prabhupada is saying. So karmis are interested in personal gratification and they kill, slaughter animals. Jnanis are performing austerities but for one's own sake and liberation. Mukti kami. And yogis are siddhi kami, self-aggrandizement by trying to attain mystic powers. So these are all more or less envious, selfish activities. But Lord Vishnu, the devotees of Lord Vishnu are engaged in Lord Vishnu's business. Only Krishna conscious persons are eligible to enter into spiritual life. That's what. So Prabhupada quotes that verse for the Bhagavad Gita famous verse. What is that? No, 18.7 somewhere there. No? Nahi kas, na, anyone who preaches this message.
Nahi kaschit kshano. No, that is not there.
Yeah, it starts like that only. Kaschin something is there, but
Priyakrittamaha, है ना इस दिन.
yeah. भवितावाच न च मे तस्मात् कश्चिन् प्रियतरो भूय न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन् मे प्रियकृत्तमः. That was. So that's what Prabhupada is quoting here. One who preach gospel of Bhagavad Gita to the world. So that is very important. So that is what Prabhupada is saying. Who is qualified to go back to Godhead and who is not? Only devotees. 37. What are their qualities? That is given here. Shantah samadrishah shuddha sarvabhuta yanti anjasachyuta padam achyuta priyavandhavah. Yes, continue.
Persons who are peaceful, equiposed, clean and purified, and who knows the art of pleasing all other living entities, keep friendship only with the devotees of the Lord. They alone can very easily achieve the perfection of going back home, back to Godhead.
Yeah. So here also Prabhupada is elaborating this one word he elaborates in his purport. And he compares how devotees are superior to Gyanis and Yogis. So this description of verse fully indicates that only devotees are eligible to enter into kingdom of God. Because of their qualities, not because they are devotees. Devotees means they are possessor of qualities. Like, so that's the thing. Like today, Srimad Bhagavatam class, Sriman Krishna Kishore Prabhu was brilliantly making this point on that is not about what we believe, it's about what we are. That's what it is. So, Shanta. So, I already quoted that verse. That's what Prabhupada is quoting. Bhakti Mukti Siddhikari Sakala Ashanta. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Shanta. Shanta means peaceful. What is meaning of Shanta? Raga Dvesha Adi Rahita. Very simple. The negative emotions are not existing in devotee. And either if they are existing, they are minimizing them. Because that is the cause of all problems. This negative emotion, rag, dvesha, adi rahitam, shantam. So that's what, and how karmis, jnanis, yogis, they all have this. So they are not peaceful. Ashant. But devotee is peaceful. And see, peaceful doesn't mean he is lazy or he is self-righteous or something. No, he is completely dependent on Supreme Lord. He thinks himself as completely helpless, just like a child feels complete peace in the. So his peace is not because of some external accomplishments, facilities, or some recognition, or no. His peace is because of experience of Supreme Lord and dependence on Supreme Lord constantly. So a devotee is completely peaceful for he depends on the mercy of Supreme Lord. So you can see sometimes you go to railway station, it's so much chaotic there. But some child is there who is sleeping on the here on the shoulder of mother is peaceful there. Peacefully sleeping or he doesn't have this anxiety when whether I will catch train or not. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. That kind of peacefulness which is awakened from the relationship. That's what is devotee's disposition. Then he is saying about Samadrishaha. His vision is Ragadi Rahitam, right? So he sees everyone in connection with the Supreme Lord. So how do we develop such qualities? Only by associating with such devotees. Such qualities develop only in association of devotees. Without that association of devotees, one cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. So when we say association of devotees, here it means association of pure devotees who have these qualities. They are not just like devotees are so many types, right? So here what Prabhupada is telling, Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvidhi, Vantirat Karna Rasayana. So devotees of these qualities, then only we can make advance. Otherwise, it will be bhajana kriya only, as it was told by Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti. Therefore, we have established ISKCON. So purpose of ISKCON is this. So to associate with pure devotees and help people associate with pure devotees. That's all. And then he is telling sadho hridayam mayam sadhunam hridayam tuham madanyatena jananti naham tebhyo managam. So what is told here? Achyuta priya bandhavaha. So they are very dear to the Lord and Lord is dear to them. On this platform only can one make progress in Krishna consciousness. Persons in Krishna consciousness or devotees of Lord can please everyone, as evident in Krishna consciousness movement. So, Sarva Bhutanu Ranjana. This is possible only for devotees because they are dear to Krishna. And Krishna is there in everyone's heart. So, they can please every living entity. And how they do? By two things, distributing holy name and distributing holy prasada. So, this is how Prabhupada is saying we request everyone to sit down and chant Hare Krishna and take as much prasad as we can supply. And thus everyone is pleased with us. So it's very clear what Prabhupada wants in his temples. So holy name, they should get Hari Kirtan, they should get Hari Katha, they should get Hari Prasad, they should get Hari Darshan. And this is all through the Sadhu Sangha, devotees association. That's how they please every living entity. Right? It's not that no dhira dhira jana priya priyakar. That's what is quoted here. No one can be more pure than devotees as far as purification. Shuddha, that word is being explained. Why is Shuddha? Because he is in touch with Shuddha. The most pure, that is Supreme Lord. A person with purely Krishna conscious and who engages in chanting Hare Krishna mantra is the purest in the whole universe. So Prabhupada writes anyone who chants pure name can deliver the entire world. That kind of potency he has. So that is the Shuddhana. So Sarva Bhutanu Ranjana. So I think I showed you this last time, that right? So how Bhakti Maharaj used to say, that the environment is school of love. So Krishna has arranged it for all of us to practice how we are going to relate with him ultimately. So if you don't do it here, we should know that we are not going there. Right? Who will go back to Godhead? So our dealings with each other, especially the devotees, are very important. So that's what something similar today only I read. Someone can read this. It is there in front of you. If you think.
If you think that nobody loves you, the problem is that you have not learned how to love others. Because if you have learned to love others, you will be satisfied millions of times giving love than looking for it. And when you give love spontaneously and naturally, people reciprocate. People love those who love them. It's human nature.
Yeah. So this is the effect of going closer to Krishna. So that's what is the experience of people. And that's what is told here. Sarva Bhuta Anurajnana. So that is what is the point said here. Text 38. Ityuttanapadah putro dhruvaha Krishna parayana abhutrayanam lokanam chudamani Yes.
In this way, the fully Krishna conscious Bhaktan path attain the summit of the three
Statuses.
statuses of planetary system.
Yeah. Chudamani. Chudamani is the highest summit. So Krishna Paraya. Anyone who is going forward to the goal of Krishna is called Krishna Paraya. He has made his goal as Krishna. Krishna conscious person can occupy exalted position beyond the imagination of any ambitious materialist. So that's what Dhruva Maharaj is attaining. Gambhira Vego Nimisham Jyotisham Chakramahitam Yasmin Bhramati Kaubravya Medhyamiva Gavam Ganaha.
O Vidura,
Above.
Saint Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, descendant of Kuru, as a circumambulates a central pole on their right side, all the luminaries within the universal sky unceasingly circumambulate the abode of Dhruva Maharaj with great force and speed.
Yeah, so this is glory of Dhruva Loka, that all the planets, they rotate around it. Just like a bull, no? Bull is put for this, you have seen so many things they do. So, Medhyam Iva Gavam Gana. So, Medhi is what, like, there is word called Griha Medhi, and there is one more word which is coined by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, that is Mat Medhi. So, Medhi means his center of life is his own self. That is Griha Medhi or Mat Medhi, whatever. It can be a renunciate, Mat Medhi, or it can be Griha Medhi, his household. So his center of life is not Krishna. That is what is. So that Medhi word is here. So that Medhi here is in context of how all the luminaries and the planets, including sun, moon, they rotate around this. So very, very fast. So Prabhupada punches on scientists that sun travels 16,000 miles a second. So that is the speed with which the planets are rotating. But the scientists are saying we are geocentric. Sun is not rotating, we are rotating. We are not moving at all. But together, all of them encircle the post of Dhruva Loka, where Dhruva Maharaj is situated. So Dhruva Loka is fixed, not we. Mahimanam vilokyasya narado bhagavan rishi adyodhyam vitunjan loka satragayat prachetasam. That's Mataji, one last verse.
After observing the glories of Dhruva Maharaj, the great sage Narada, playing his veena, went to sacrificial arena of the Prachetas and very happily chanted the following 3 verses.
Yeah. Now the next section is starting, that how Narada glorified this Dhruva Maharaj pastime in assembly of Prachetas. So you see, this Narada Muni is so much absorbed in glories of devotees. We have heard this Vyasa Puja, where the disciples glorify Guru. But you see, Narad Muni is such a devotee that he is in, like, seventh canto is happening in what? In Yudhishthir Maharaj Rajsuyagya. There he is glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. Here he is in Prachetas, he is glorifying Dhruva Maharaj. In Brihad Bhagavatam, you will find he will glorify so many devotees. This is a real essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, as told by Sanatan Goswami. That a person who has received mercy of Lord, he always is eager to prove that how others have received more mercy than me. That's the whole story of Brihad Bhagavatam, first story. So now he is very happily chanting about his disciple, and not with aggrandizement that, see, this is my disciple, all of you become my disciple. No, that is not the intention of him. But he is delighting in the glories of devotees. So he has chanted. As a father is very happy to see son's advancement in every respect, the spiritual master is very happy to observe ascendancy of his disciple. So actually, this really pleases spiritual master. Prabhupada writes in that section that what really pleases spiritual master is when you make spiritual advancement. That is real pleasure of Guru. Not how much money you collected, how much devotees you made, how much temples you constructed. That is all right and that is wonderful and that is has to be done. But what is going to please is how much we have started loving Krishna. Prabhupada also said that, right? So this is the greatest happiness of disciple, Guru. But that's what Ishwar Puri also, no? Bhala Haya, you have attained perfection, my dear son. Please continue chanting. So now 3 verses are Narada singing the glories of Dhruva Maharaj, remembering entire pastime and the essential incidences in assembly of Prachetas. Text 41. Narada Vacha Nunam Sunite Patidevataya Stapa Prabhavasya Sutasya Tam Gadim दृष्ट्वाभ्युपायनपि वेदवादिनो नैवाधिगन्तुं प्रभवन्ति किं नृपाः. Someone else can read now. Translation. Want to volunteer? Yes, Hatish, Ashika, please.
Hare Krishna Pranam.
Hmm.
The great sage, translation, the great sage Narada said, simply by the influence of his spiritual advancement and powerful austerity, Dhruv Maharaj, the son of Suniti, who was devoted to her husband, acquired an exalted position not possible to attain even for the so-called Vedantists or strict followers of the Vedic principles, not to speak of ordinary human beings.
Yeah. So how rare it is what he attained. And his tapobalam, tapaprabhavas, right? So because of that, he did, and others cannot achieve this. Drishtva abhyupayam means Vedavadinaha na eva, they can't even attain. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying they could not attain the method only, how he attained. So what to speak of the attainment of his method? So could not attain the method by which he attained the goal. What to speak of the attainment itself? So that is the case, the glory of Dhruva Maharaj, his personification of tapasya. So Prabhupada goes back to Bhagavad Gita as usual. Yamimam pushpitam vajam pravadanti avipashyatah vedavadarataha partha nanyadasti iti vadam. Kamatvana swargapara janma karma phalatvam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim. So those who are diverted by the flowery words of Vedas, which will promise material enjoyment of wealth, woman and facilities, they will never fathom what is happening there. They will go and talk about Vedas and execute austerities. They also do austerities. But it is not possible to attain such exalted position for such Vedavada Rata. Dhruva Maharaj was a king and at the same time he was learned as great sage. But without devotional service, neither great king nor a great Brahmana, strictly adhering to Vedic principle, can be elevated to exalted position attained by Dhruva Maharaj. So bhakti is necessary. So not just tapasya, it is bhakti. But tapasya was not tapasya because it was under instruction. So it was bhakti only. So 42. इह पंचवर्षो गुरुदारवाक्षरैः भिन्नेन यातो हृदयेन दूयत वनं मदादेशकरोजितं प्रभु जिगाय तद्भक्तगुणैः पराजितम्.
Translation. The great sage Narada continued, just see how Dhruv Maharaja aggrieved at the harsh words of his stepmother, went to the forest at the age of only 5 years, and under my direction underwent austerity. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unconquerable, Dhruv Maharaja defeated him with the specific qualifications possessed by the Lord's devotees.
Yeah. So here his further activities are told. So he was just a 5-year-old and he was affected by the words, strong words of Suruchi. He went to the forest and what he did? Vanam Madadesha. Narada is telling, he followed my orders and he conquered person who cannot be conquered. Ajitam Prabhum Jigaya. Tad Bhakta Gunaihi Parajitam. And how did the unconquerable Lord get conquered? By the qualities of his devotees. So that's what is the main part of purport. Prabhupada says Ajita Jite. So you can see that verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoting me. So Prabhupada quotes that. But see, essence of all our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy is what is sweetness in the Supreme Lord. Lord is great, and that is great. But what is the sweetness of that great Lord is he comes under control of his devotees. That is pinnacle of that is in Vrindavan. So Bhakta Vatsalya and Bhakta Vishamata, Vaishamya, Bhakta Vatsalya and Bhakta Vashyata. So Bhakta Vashyata is the highest quality of the Lord, which is most sweetest. So that's what Prabhupada quotes Yashoda Mai, binding Krishna. So Lord likes that he, and Chaitanya Charitamrita it is told that, he likes to be, he is not very happy with this official Vaidhi sadhana. He says, Aishwarya Shithila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Whole world is worshipping me with this Aishwarya, greatness. But that doesn't give me pleasure. So everyone comes before Lord and offers him exalted prayers, but Lord does not feel as pleased when offered such prayers as does when a devotee out of pure love chastises. Right? So that is the personality of the Lord. So Mad, then Prabhupada says about Mad Adesha. So Narada is saying here, he followed my order. So Prabhupada says, this is the most important aspect of Bhakti. Adav Guru Padashraya. So that is the first principle to attain perfection. That's what Prabhupada is saying. And accepting Guru means following strictly the direction of Guru. So that is the essence of accepting Guru. Accepting Guru is not just an event of getting the name. No, it's a process of surrender. And surrender means strictly adhere to the direction of Guru. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Tete Pariyai. That is the essence of our practice. Should be. As Dhruva Maharaj followed the instruction of Narada Muni, then it is not difficult for him to achieve the favor of the Lord. Actually, elsewhere Prabhupada writes that following the instruction of spiritual, bona fide spiritual master is concomitant to going back to Godhead. One should not even think whether I will go or not. Elsewhere he writes, I don't remember where, I don't know, some of you might remember. Prabhupada writes that. That should be the faith of disciple. He should not even think whether I will go or not. And then he attained love. He conquered the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada quotes that famous verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, right? You are there in front of you. So staying at your jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiyavar sthane sthitah shrutigatan tanuvan manobhi ve prayasha ajitajitopi taistilokya. Ajita Jita. So same thing is here, right? Ajita Jigaya. So Prabhupada is quoting that. If anyone, any position, sthane sthitaha, submissively hears the transcendental message, bhavadiya vartam, sthane sthitaha. But how? Submissive means tanu vak manobhir namanti. He offers respect with his body, mind and words. So this is the quality of his hearing. This is the participation of his shravana. So that is what is, that will lead to conquering. So this process of shravanam, it may appear very simple, and it is simple actually, but we have to participate in it. Simply by hearing about Krishna, one can develop unalloyed love for Krishna, Prabhupada is saying. But we have to participate that properly. Submissive oral reception. So sar, one wants to receive the essence, one has to receive the essence from those who have the essence. Submissive oral reception. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here. And then by that, Prabhupada is writing that Mayavadis want to become Lord, but devotees control the Lord. So they surpasses that position. Right? So these are the some examples of how devotee can acquire the exalted position of conquering the unconquerable. So he gives example of Arjuna instructing Krishna. Text 43. I think this is the last verse Narada is speaking about. Then Maitreya will start speaking. Yakshatrabandhu bhuvita Yakshatrabandhur tasyaadhirudha manvarurukshe dapi varshapuvai pancha षट्पञ्चवर्षो यदहो विलल्पै प्रसाद्य वैकुण्ठमवापतत्पदम्.
Translation: Dhruv Maharaj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 years. After undergoing austerity for 6 months, alas, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after undergoing austerities for many, many years.
Yeah, so it's astonishing. Astonishment is telling. Who can attain? This small boy, 5 to 6 years old, he attained perfection. No Kshatriya has attained like that. So that's what is being said here. So Prabhupada compares that Bharat Maharaj, I think. Yeah, Bharat Maharaj took 3 lives. And but Dhruva Maharaj, he could attain in one life that too. And how small he was. That's why he's called Kshatrabandhu. He is just a 5 years old. He was not a mature Kshatriya. So lesson from Dhruva Maharaj is that if one likes, one can attain Vaikuntha in one life without waiting for many lives. My Guru Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada used to say that every one of his disciples could attain Vaikuntha in this life without waiting for another life. One simply has to become as serious and sincere as Dhruva Maharaj. Then it is quite possible to attain Vaikuntha and go back home, back to Godhead in one life. So this is what we have to do. We have to become serious and sincere. Strive for this. Right? So that's the point. Now, having said that, now Maitreya Muni himself is going to speak the Falashruti, right from 44 to the end of the chapter. Maitreya Vacha Etatte Abhitam Sarvam Yatprushtoham Mihatvaya Dhruvasyodamayashasam Charitam Sammatam Satam.
Translation: The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, whatever you ask from me about the great reputation and character of Dhruv Maharaj, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees are very much like to hear about Dhruv Maharaj.
Yeah. So, as you have inquired from me, I have served you. I have narrated to you. Dhruvasya Uddamayasha Charitam Sammatam Satam. So Prabhupada's whole purport is on this line, Sammatam Satam. Right? So this is the verse which I showed you in the very beginning of today's discussion, the glory of Bhagavatam, that how we should approach Bhagavatam. So this only is the verse that we have to go chapter by chapter, verse by verse. Right? Yes. Fine. So before we go ahead, there are 2 hands up, so we have some time. Let us have some. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Okay. Guruji, I have one question. See,
Yes.
normally those devotees who are around us, so we generally don't see that serious, like probably practicing their Krishna consciousness. But when certain things come, like when they're informed that the situation in their life is very serious and they will be passing their lives within few more months or something, so that time they become very serious. So, what is the destination of such devotees?
Actually, what is destination of whom? I have no qualification to comment. But we have an idea of Siddhanta, which is spoken in scriptures. So it is exactly according to the consciousness of a devotee. What are his aspirations? What are his attachments? What are his practices? How was his behavior with other devotees? So, how much he has pleased Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. So, surely we have to know from sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita that one is going to continue further, right? Sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, depending on what state he is. But the perfection characteristics are given in current discussion. That
Okay.
this has to be attained. If this is attained, then they will go back to God. If this is not attained, they will continue to go closer to that in the next life. Like that, we can take. So, this is a
Okay.
general principle. However,
Yes.
a spiritual master or spiritual masters can do some miracle if they want. Or Krishna can do some miracle if he wants. So, that is beyond our no, this thing. That it is their prerogative. Our prerogative is we practice. And we have faith that Lord is all good, and whatever observe, whatever happened, is Lord is involved in that. Lord is going to help anyone and everyone. And we don't know the full picture, what is happened in his life, right? So recently, I think today only, no, there was Shiman Jivanand Prabhu's
Yeah.
good wife. She left the body. My mother was telling she came for Ghar Seva. Just 4 5 days back, she was there in temple doing some seva also. But very sudden, actually. We don't know. But we have to know that devotees are engaged in service. So they continue to be engaged in services. And they are helping us to, as you said, that the devotee also becomes serious, and sometimes other devotees seeing that also become serious, right? That
Yeah.
कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है. बराबर.
So if like such for such devotees, if like kirtan is arranged and then they leave their body, the soul leave the body, hearing the kirtan from Prabhupada or Guru Maharaj, his Guru Maharaj. So in that case, will that help and how will it?
Whether he
Sure.
goes back to Godhead or not.
Actually, that's what I'm saying. Going back to Godhead is see, spiritual masters can comment, they can say, but surely it helps. There is no doubt, because that's the great opulence which devotees have, right? That there are devotees around him who are thinking well about him. So it's a 100% help. There is no doubt about it, and we pray for that. That some devotee will be there in our case also. That
Mm.
they will chant Hare Krishna for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Surely. So yes, Paul, it helps, and it has helped, and so many things actually. Recently, I don't know, you have heard this. Param Pujya Bhakti Brihad Bhagavad Swami Maharaj had come here. So
Yes.
he was speaking about one case actually. So who can get what association is very special.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
he had many cases. One book is also there on that. So these things we can read actually. How he raised the consciousness of that Mataji by discussion. So not everyone gets such association, right?
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
there are many factors, Prabhu, actually. So which are not in our hand. Our hand is our sincere, serious, and without ulterior motivation practice. So that's what. And our relationships with Guru and Vaishnavas and Krishna. So that, and sure enough, it will be better situation. There is no doubt about it. As Krishna promises, no, in sixth chapter Bhagavad Gita, that nahi kasyit kalyan. No, there is only auspiciousness is there for a person who has began the path of yoga. So, hey Tata, there cannot be inauspiciousness for such person. So there is one verse in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is saying to Arjuna's question. I think that is 6.13 34, 35 something. No, it's little higher. Yeah, see, I think you are seeing the verse or something I'm showing you. Yeah, so this is श्री भगवान वाच पार्थ नैव हि नामुत्र विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि
Mhm.
कल्याणकृत् कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "A son of Pruta, transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities, does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does only good, my friend, is never overcome by evil."
Okay.
So this faith we should have, and we try to be sincere, serious, and whoever is living, we should try to help our family members, greater family members.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes, bro. Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
yes, bro, you have something to add?
Yes, Prabhuji. So I was just asking in the previous verse, what Prabhupada is saying, if you have the sincerity like Dhruva Maharaj, then certainly you can go back home, back to Godhead in this life. And
Yes.
certainly everybody is desirous of that.
Yes.
But see that, because of the karma baggage that many people have, even this, what do you call that, very iron like sincerity, determination does not seem to arise. It is always in a covered up state of struggle with the modes, struggle with the lower self. That is what is visible. So, I mean, how do we, try to bring this together? Everybody wants to go back home, back to Godhead in one life. And what must be done to so that this can? So, should we be try our best and don't think when we are going back home, back to Godhead, or we must desire we have to go back home, back to Godhead, and somehow beg to the Lord to give us the devotional qualities by which we will be able to approach Him, by which we will get perfection. So this is a confusing thing sometimes.
Yes, so very honest expression. What my understanding is that such association, those who have sense of urgency or padam padam yat vipadam natesha, right? So my Guru Maharaj was saying in one lecture that it is not said that every step there is danger, right? So we will not feel it actually, that every step there is danger. But so to have association of such sadhus can help us to become serious and sincere, as Prabhupada is saying here. So that is one thing actually which can help us. And secondly, which you said that yes, our goal, as I think I discussed earlier also, that it is that we attain spiritual world in consciousness in this body only, and then at the time of death we go back. So it's more important to attain the consciousness than to physically go there. Here only we have to attain that consciousness first. So that is the major endeavor. Like I think today Prabhuji was saying, or I don't know, very beautiful Bhagavatam class today by this guest Krishna Kishore Kumar. So we have to be introspective and contemplative about what is happening within, whether the vrittis are developing, right? He was quoting 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and then 16th chapter. So this is very important thought. Then dependence on Lord will come. That my dear Lord, so many years, same problems are not much reducing. So you seek help, you depend, you cry, or you seek help. So that is what is seriousness. Means one aspect of seriousness is, and it's a challenging because outside world is completely opposite, right? It's completely opposite. You hear one class and become serious, and then whole day you are out, and then it's different situation altogether. So that's why Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya is there. So these two things, if we are in connection, person Bhagavat who is realized self, what sense of urgency, and book Bhagavad. So then we are reminded every day, so we can realign our priorities and continue on. Because it's not a sprint, right? Krishna consciousness is not a sprint, it's not a small race which we just run. It's a long whole life we have to run. And Krishna is telling I just recently read this fifth or sixth chapter. So Krishna is telling till the death you have to tolerate this kama and krodha, lobha. No, till the death. Such person,
Ashaknoti haiva yasodhum.
exact,
Prakshiti.
prak sharira vimokshana. You see. So that's what Krishna is expecting from us, and we can just have faith on his words that okay, I will try to be sincere, serious, and no ulterior motives. And it's Krishna's prerogative. It is his responsibility to clean my heart. In the sense, responsibility means I am saying that we should not be feeling that अरे क्या कुछ हुआ नहीं अभी तक. No, we are on the path. Krishna wants, he will do. Today, if he wants, he will do after 10 lives, whatever he wants. Because the problem is, as I told, that once, no, Radhanath Swami Maharaj telling in Yatra that many of us, or most of us, are free from the anathas. But Krishna is not giving realization because you may become proud. You will offend devotees. So he may give that at the end of life suddenly. Who knows? Because he is concerned that you will become proud. So unless we are situated on the third verse of Shikshashtakam, then we cannot enter into higher realms of consciousness, like that he was saying. So, these are few thoughts for which I am also trying. It's a challenge, but we are in association of devotees and going forward. It's a quite safe journey in that sense.
Thank you, Bruce.
It's fine. Anything else? I think Mataji also had raised hand. Yashika Mata, you want to say something or it's done?
यस प्रभु जी आई वांट ऐड एक्चुअली क्या था कि हम इस थोड़े टाइम पहले 13 जून को हमारे टेम्पल में ना एक डिवोटी थे, मतलब ब्रह्मचारी थे, उन्होंने ना शरीर छोड़ा, तो उनका बता रहे थे, मतलब पास टाइम जैसे। तो एक्चुअली उनको क्या हुआ था कि ना वो इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर थे, तो 2016 के अराउंड मतलब वो टेम्पल में आए थे जैसे, और उन्होंने ना मतलब उनका ऑपरेशन हुआ था, उनको ब्रेन ट्यूमर था एक्चुअली। तो उनका ऑपरेशन हुआ तो 10 साल के बाद ना वो डिजीज वापस आ गई, अब की बार ना थोड़ी क्रिटिकल एरिया में थी मतलब। तो इस बार जब उनका ऑपरेशन हुआ ना, तो 1 मंथ तक उनको ना मतलब अनकॉन्शियस थे, मतलब जाने से पहले। और सडनली जब वो जाने से ना उनको 2.5-3 घंटा पहले उनको ना मतलब कॉन्शियस स्टेट में आ गया, मतलब थोड़ा सा मतलब उनका लिप्स चलने लग गए। तो उन्होंने ना मतलब माला करनी शुरू कर दी, और मतलब पूरा 2.5 घंटे उन्होंने हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र किया, मतलब लोग डिवोटीज थे उनके आसपास, और मतलब बिल्कुल उनके लिप्स चलने लग गए, और एक तरह से उन्होंने ना मतलब माला कंप्लीट की, फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने शरीर छोड़ा।
Yeah, so Krishna is there to help. Devotees are there to help.
यस वही, मतलब बिल्कुल 1 मंथ तक कुछ भी नहीं था, मतलब वो कुछ नहीं, कुछ मूवमेंट ही नहीं थी
No
उनके
movement.
अंदर। यस वही, और बिल्कुल अंत समय में मतलब
Just few hours before return.
यस वही।
Yes, so these case studies can give us faith that how Krishna is involved, devotees are involved. Yes, Moses, thank you. Let us go ahead. Last section of this chapter. The Falashruti is beginning here. So we have to approach Srimad Bhagavatam and not avoid it. Devotees should not try to avoid even a word of Bhagavatam. So it's a very heavy statement. You should not miss any word. So text 45. Dhanyam yashasyam mayushyam punyam sastyanam mahat swargam dhravyam somanasyam prashasyam agamarsanam. Yeah, I think one more you can read last.
ट्रांसलेशन By hearing the narration of Dhruv Maharaja, one can fulfill desires for wealth, reputation, and increased duration of life. It is so auspicious that one can even go to a heavenly planet or attain Dhruvaloka, which was achieved by Dhruv Maharaj just by hearing about him. The demigods also become pleased because this narration is so glorious and it is so powerful that it can counteract all the results of one's sinful actions.
So all kinds of people can get all kinds of things. Right? Dhanyam, yasham, ayushyam, punyam, swasthayanam, swargyam, dravyam, saumanasyam. So everything. Agamarshanam, prashasyam. What is that? Yeah, glorious. So all these things are possible by this pastime of hearing and speaking this pastime. This pastime is suitable for devatas also, what to speak of others. Saum, Saumanasyam means suitable for devatas. Can you imagine? So this can be recited by them also. So like that, so Prabhupada also writes that there are different kinds of men. So many, they are not pure devotees. They have all these desires, different desires. Herein it is recommended by Maitreya that every one of them can hear the narration of Dhruva Maharaj and thus get their desired goal. So again, karmi, jnani, akama, sarva kama, moksha kama. There is no difference between activities and character of the Lord and his devotees. So that's the potency actually. So we have to know and we should narrate these stories for anyone and everyone. So text 46. श्रुत्वैतच्छ्रद्धया भीक्ष्णम् अच्युतप्रियचेष्टितं भवेद्भक्तिर्भगवति यया स्यात् क्लेशसंक्षयः. Yeah, now someone else can read. No one else want to read.
Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva Maharaja and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character attends the pure devotional platform and execute pure devotional service. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of material life.
Yeah, so he's hearing and he repeatedly trying with faith and devotion to understand about Dhruva Maharaj and his pure character. So we saw that Dhruva Maharaj later on became angry. But that anger was not anger of this material world or anger of karmi. No. So that's why it is told. Understand his pure character. He can attain pure devotional platform and he will execute pure devotional service. So that's why it is not just hearing, but mananam is very important. After we hear, so Jiva Goswami writes in Sandarbhas that actually by mananam all our doubts are gone. There are two kinds of doubts. One is it true or can it exist like this? The second is something else other than this exist. So there are all kinds of doubt go away by manan, like trying to understand with faith and devotion. So he attains this pure devotional platform. Means Druda Shraddha, to practice pure devotional service. So this is very, very important. So that is the power of this Leela. So Achyuta Priya, so he is very famous. So same principle, the Lord's pastimes and his devotees' pastimes. Both have potency and both are pleasing. So these two combinations are very powerful. It is potent also, it is pleasing also. If one simply reads and over again about Dhruva Maharaj by hearing and reading this chapter, one can attain the highest perfection of life in a way he desires. In a way he desires. Most importantly, he gets chance to become a great devotee. So, in that the best is great devotee. So, when I read this, I was wondering how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is following Srimad Bhagavatam. So he and Gadadhar Pandit are Radha and Krishna, and they are following this again and again, read over again and again. So that's how they used to read Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. Hundreds of times they will read and read. Hmm? But what they will attain? They will attain their desire. So if one desires Golok Vrindavan, Raganuga Bhakti, so that's what he can attain by hearing this Dhruva Maharaj past. What he desires, right? That's what is told. So Mahaprabhu has personified. He's teaching how to be a devotee by this. So it's so authentic the way Mahaprabhu has acted. 47. महत्त्वमिच्छतां तीर्थं श्रोतुः शीलादयो गुणाः यत्र तेजस्तदिच्छूनां मानो यत्र मनस्विनाः.
Anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaja acquires exalted qualities like him. For anyone who desires greatness or prowess or influence, here is the process by which to acquire them. And for thoughtful men who want adoration, here is the proper means.
Yeah. So anything else you want, still you do this. Mahatvam ikshatam. If those desiring greatness, you will cause greatness. You want good qualities, you will get good qualities. Those who desire power, they will get power. Those who are intelligent, hearing about is the cause of respect. Right? Manasvina. Mano yatra manasvina. So that's what is said here. So all kinds of falashruti for anyone and everyone, they will attain by this. So this is puja, labha, pratishtha. In this material world, everyone is after puja, labha, pratishtha. Everyone wants this. All ambitions which are desirable for great persons can be fulfilled by reading and understanding the narration of Dhruva Maharaja's activities. So that is the power. So how much falashruti is there, one after the other, right? So that is the power. So this is like Vedic literature, so this is in connection with Vedic literature. 11th canto, Nimi Maharaj, Navayogindrada are discussed. So when karma path is asked, karma kanda and karma, I think which one of the Navayogendras say that actually why there are promises of Swarga and other enjoyments in Vedas is because it's like a child. So child you want to give medicine, the child will not take medicine. So what you tell him? That if you take medicine, I will give you laddu. Then he will say, okay, I will take it. So like that, the Karma Kanda section talk about the Swarga and do this ritual. So they encourage people to do ritual by which they get purified because medicine is there. So the sweet meat is covered, medicine is inside. So something similar you can say here is Srimad Bhagavatam. Also, it is like that. That when one hears this, even if he has those desires, that can be fulfilled. But this is not exaggeration, this is fact. To attract all kinds of people, all ambitious. What is that? Easy, no? What is that? EAS, ambitious, stressed youth. Empower ambitious, stressed youth. Like that Radhisham Prabhu. So everyone is ambitious nowadays. Right? So all kinds of ambitions can be fulfilled by reading and understanding these activities of Dhruva Maharaj. Text 48. प्रयतः कीर्तयेत् प्रातः समवाये द्विजमनां सायं च पुण्यश्लोकस्य ध्रुवस्य चरितं महत्.
The great sage Maitreya recommended one should chant of character and activities of Dhruva Maharaj, but both in the morning and in the evening, with great attention and care, in a society of Brahmanas or other twice-born persons.
Yeah, so here it is told that with whom and how and with what mood one should do this. So, and pratah kirtayate pratah, prayatah. with great care. Prayatatmana is there, right? Prayatatmana means with great care and purity of his consciousness. Or patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakta prayatyati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmana. Prayataha means with great care and every day, morning, prata. But okay. How? With whom? In association of dvijas. So the dvijas are the mode of the people who are situated in mode of goodness. And preferably they should be Vaishnavas. That's what purpose says. And even in evening, one should do this. This is great. Right? So that's what is told. So Prabhupada writes a very important purport here. That it is only in the association of devotees can one understand importance of character and pastimes of Lord and his devotees. So importance can be understood only in the association of devotees and can be discussed in society of twice born, especially recommended, right? Which refers to qualified brahmanas, kshatriyas and vaishyas. Dvijas means what? These three. One should especially seek society of brahmanas who are elevated to the position of Vaishnavas. Thus, discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes the character and pastimes of devotees and the Lord, is very quickly effective. So, which discussion, with whom discussion, with such quality people we discuss. So, that will be very quickly effective. So, this is a very, very important point. And what is purpose of ISKCON is this. So see, purpose of ISKCON is to discuss Bhagavatam. So many times Prabhupada is saying. It is not anything else. Anything else is for this purpose. You open Govindas, make big, big temples and so many arrangements. All other projects, the core is this. That we discuss Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Because that's why other things will get proper, the spirit. So very quickly effective. And it has to be discussed not with passionate people. They can use these pastimes for one's own purposes also. No. Has to be discussed with specially. And Prabhupada is saying seeking. Seeking means what? You are looking for such association. Because you have proper experience in discussion in that association. So Srila Prabhupada, you can say this 2.8.27 purport you can say that.
So, Prabhuji, our Bhakti Vaibhav is exactly like this. We are discussing with great devotees in the association. We are hearing from you.
So no, bro, it's not like that. We are discussing with Prabhupada, previous acharyas. We are trying to hear and speak about that. So that, but this is what Prabhupada wanted actually. These courses is desire of Srila Prabhupada, right? So it's very helpful. So see how Prabhupada is writing here, 2.8.27. You will see it's a very amazing purport. 2.7, sorry, 2.8.27. Yeah, you can see here. So here actually, I think you are seeing this, no? This is the chapter 7 of second canto. So there are only questions asked. So many questions after question. And in answer, he is telling 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Shukdev Goswami being invited by Parikshit to speak on topics of Krishna with devotees was very much pleased. Hey, you asked so many questions. Thank you very much. So in this purport, Prabhupada is writing the importance of discussion and what is the effect of discussion. So yeah, someone can read this.
Srimad Bhagavatam can be legitimately discussed only among the devotees of the Lord. As the Bhagavad Gita was authoritatively discussed between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the Lord and the devotee respectively. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is postgraduate study of the Bhagavad Gita, can also be discussed between the scholars and devotees like Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. Otherwise, the real taste of the nectar cannot be relished.
Yeah. So this is the important statement. That real taste of nectar cannot be relished. Means one may relish something else. The real thing will be relished when we discussed with proper authoritative people, followers of Sukadeva Goswami. That's the point.
So I have
So,
a unique question.
yes,
Like,
Prabhu.
because this is a close group, I'm asking.
Yes, Prabhu.
In ISKCON, devotees are discussing, but even in ISKCON, there will be grades of devotees.
Correct. Yes.
And, we see that sometimes even devotees, after practicing for many years, have certain policies, and sometimes we see that they have fallen down in the past,
Correct.
the present, okay, like that. So, are if somebody is hearing in such a devotees association by some situation, so is it that progress will be less because that devotee is in the realm of modes of passion,
Actually,
because of which he has fallen down?
yeah, as it is told here that it should be discussed among Dvijas. So actually, passion is very less there. Ideally,
No, but I'm talking about devotee who's
reality.
fallen down.
Yeah. So now,
Sense that
like
that means
retrospect.
he is he's in the community, but internally there is some problem.
Yes, so what I would say is that it is not that one can even very exalted person, if he commits an offense, he comes down, right? So
Hmm.
when you discuss if he is in right spirit, it is no problem. It depends actually case to case, why happened, what happened. It's happening between them and Krishna. What is happening, we don't know actually. And so that's why we have to be careful in and discriminative,
Yeah.
and in that. So, and we should not be too much judgmental as long as Bhagavatam is being discussed and some forum is created, hmm, where there is gross selfishness is not visible, then we can continue. Because it's a matter of eating. Like if you are eating, you feel nourished, right? Hmm.
Yeah.
So if you are feeling nourishment by discussion of Bhagavatam, then that's perfect. So, so
Thank you.
again, I want to say that if our aspirations are proper, then accordingly nourishment will be there, right? If aspirations are different, then different can also be there. So that's why Prabhupada words are very, very specific. The real taste of Bhagavatam cannot be relished, he said. I mean, there can be some other taste of nectar can be relished.
Hmm.
Bhagavatam is like Krishna. Mohini Murti also. Bhagavatam acts like Mohini Murti also. If you approach Mohini Murti with some other motivation, you will get the glances and so that the nectar will not be there. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Bhagavatam acts like Mohini Murti also. So it's all the best course of action is we can judge ourselves and we can be sincere in a serious and no motivation. And Krishna will arrange proper things for you. Hmm? And when it comes to our about the other party who had challenges, hmm, so we have to understand that actually Maya Devi tests everyone, hmm, and especially those leaders who are going. Actually, they are in the forefront. So Maya is fully targeting them. Hmm. So we have to become more careful actually, and have such disposition that actually devotee never falls down. Actually. Hmm. He comes under challenge. It's like, I think one devotee was quoting that devotee doesn't fall like chikhal, chikhal. What is that? Mud ball if you make. you put mud ball fall down, what will happen? It will stick to the ground, right? But devotee, even if he apparently falls, so he falls like a ball, so he will bounce back. So, so in which life, what is happening, we don't know the full story. But Maya is doing her job more than us to them, those who are taking big, big responsibilities. So we have to be extremely careful and be sympathetic that yes, these challenges, no, Maya doesn't leave anyone. I recently heard 84-year sannyasi. Can you imagine? So
Yes,
what
bro.
is
That was, yeah, we heard.
what is our case actually? We have to be more careful. What else can be done? So that's the only hope, Prabhu. And Krishna takes care. Krishna is dealing with them and he's helping them. He's engaging them, encouraging them. It's a great challenge time in their life, actually. And we have to be actually, that's why when we see Siddhanta, then we'll understand that these people have to be seen in a very mature way. Otherwise, the outside people will see externally, like Yamdutas are seeing Ajamil, right? How Ajamil they are seeing. And this fellow, he has done so much. But he has done bhakti, Baba. Bhakti is so powerful. This sin is nothing in front of that. Bhakti is so powerful. So that's a great challenge of our society. And the solution lies in this discussion of Bhagavatam. Then
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, but many times we see that means we know that all our past karmas and fruits of past karma get nullified after diksha, but after diksha also many devotees get suffered. So it is only because of aparadha offenses, or whether it is still suffering from last karma.
actually, see, when we say Diksha, it is not an event that you put that banana, that tail and banana in that fire and my karma is over. Haribo. Now full karma free. No, that is not the Siddhanta. Siddhanta is, it is kramena iva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratat. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says that aprarabdam phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham. Kramena iva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratat. So as person engages in devotional service and he continues to practice the Acharya's methods, his sins are diminished. But if he commits offenses, the diminishes of sin doesn't happen the way it should happen fully. Because offenses are more dangerous than sins. So, so we have to be very clear in this understanding that it is not that Diksha is a process of surrender. It is not event of getting your name. This has to be clear. I am using Srila Prabhupada's words. In NOI, Prabhupada says, initiation is a process of surrender. Process has a beginning and continuation. And surrender has no end. Means it can go till Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, and gopis. So surrender is there even in perfected state. There is no end to that. So it's a process of surrender where this destruction of karma is happening. And when one reaches certain level of advancement, then it is over. But if one commits offense, then it can means it's not about karma actually. Krishna is involved in the life of devotee. So Krishna will do whatever is needed for him. He doesn't have to see, अरे इसके पास कर्म नहीं है, तो मैं कुछ दे नहीं सकता इसको नहीं. If he commits offense, then Krishna will, like as a doctor gives some, what this example is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti, that a father or doctor will give the child Karela juice. But the purpose of Karela juice is to increase his appetite, right? So that he will eat fully eventually. So Lord also, because of aparadh, he may give distress to that devotee. So it may be of karma, may not be of karma. What is important is Krishna is giving that. It is Bhavaduttha Shubha Shubha. Bhavaduttha means these are prayers of personified Vedas are praying to Krishna. that in devotees, the Shubha and Ashubha caused is caused because of you. So Lord is concerned about our progress and our inoffensiveness than our karma. For him, karma is not very important. And for bhakti, karma destruction is not a big deal. Hmm. Karma destruction is never a big deal actually. No? What is that when you do parikrama? Brahma hatyadi kani we say, right? So that's not the main focus. Focus is offenses are very dangerous. We have to know the offenses and we have to know the remedies and we have to be very careful not to do them. So that's what. Okay.
So, Prabhuji, in conclusion, we can say that we should always have compassion towards, such devotees who are maybe, in the
Having
process of
challenge in their
bouncing
life.
back.
Yes.
And at the same time, we should use our discretion also to
Yes,
be,
we should
not affected
association.
at that point.
Yes. We should be discriminative in our association. That I am not qualified to associate with him now. So I will respectfully keep distance. Right. And this
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
yes, Prabhu.
I think this answer uh, mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9.30 and 31 sloka. Ati chet tu duracharo and Chipram. This
Bhavati.
two sloka purpose, Prabhupada write down.
Very true, Prabhu. Correct. That's what should be the vision, that we see him as sadhu because Krishna sees him as sadhu, right? साधुरेव समंतव्य मीन्स व्हाट, मैं उसको साधु मानता हूं, अर्जुन तू नहीं मानेगा तो अपराध होगा. Like that's what Krishna is speaking actually. Mantavya means instruction, imperative. I am seeing him as sadhu. He's repenting constantly, crying and saying that I destroyed reputation of Krishna and bhakti because of my wrong activities, and he's burning with repentance.
And fall down is probably accidental in this case. Apichetu duracharo. Fall down is accidental.
Yes,
And if he's not repenting, that in that case, Prabhuji.
Now,
actually.
on one more thing, Prabhuji, if I make mistake and I tell others, okay, apiset suduracharo, ananya bhak, sadhureva samantavya, samyak vyavasito isa.
No. That is not to be quoted for oneself, bro. Krishna is not saying that. That is not for the. And coming to
We should say, हमारा जीवन सदा पापे रहता.
and whether first we have to see, am I getting some repentance? Actually, repentance is a very good symptom of our consciousness. If we do something wrong, do we feel any repentant? No. Repentance comes in the heart of a good soul as soon as he commits something wrong. So, prayaschitta, otherwise there is misuse. No, seventh offense also is there, isn't it? Seventh offense is another side, or confession is another side. So, it's a very thin line. Bhakti सब अंदर की बात है. So we have to be individually seeing what are my intentions and what are my impressions and how it happened. So accidental and premeditated and all that fall down, which is what we can't know. I think Prabhupada said that you can't know which is accidental, which is premeditated. No? So, but we have to be careful. We cannot judge others. Better we respect from a distance. That is better. So, which is accidental, which is premeditated. Actually, premeditated also began with accident only, no? So, everything begins with crack. The bridge falls after 1 year. So, whether he saw the crack or someone else saw the crack. That's why actually the community of devotees is very important. We are not alone. We should have friends and well-wishers around us. Like Bharat Maharaj was alone. Right? So those who will say, Prabhu, this crack is there. So it's very important to have such So that's why I will show you this discussion of Bhagavatam is so important. Prabhupada writes elsewhere also in TLC. Yeah, so what the proper association we should be cultivating, or we should be forming, Prabhupada says. Right? This is 12th chapter of yeah. Someone can read this, Sri Rupa Goswami.
Srila Rupa Goswami has recommended that one live in the association of those who are of the same mentality. Therefore, it is necessary to form some association for Krishna consciousness and live together for the cultivation of knowledge of Krishna and devotional service. The most important item for living in that association is the mutual understanding of the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. When faith and devotion are developed, they become transformed into the worship of the deity, chanting of the holy name, and living in a holy place like Mathura and Vrindavan.
This paragraph, I believe I have shown you before also. Yeah, remember seeing this paragraph? So it's a very important. Prabhupada is combining two things here. One is 5 potent forms of devotional service, which are extremely potent. If we approach it without aparat, it will have a great effect. And he is comparing with how sadhu sangha means having. So sadhu sangha, nama kirtan, bhagavad shravan, mathura vasa, shrimurtira sadhya sevan. These 5, he is combining two, sadhu sangha and bhagavad shravan. If you do these two things properly, and if you have this, what kind of sadhu sangha? Sajatiya snigdha swatovara sadhu sangha. So like-minded and swatovara, they're superior. And snigdha, there is some affection, there is some well-wishing feeling. So it is necessary, Prabhupada is saying, to form such an association. What we do in that association? Not just the essence of that association is guhyam akhyati pruchhati. We do bhungte bhojayate and dadati pratigruhnati can be done. Very nice. But the main thing is cultivation of knowledge of Krishna and Bhakti. And that is founded on Gita and Bhagavad. Understanding of that. And with that, what happens? These two things develop. Shraddha and Bhakti. When faith and devotion are developed by this kind of association and discussion, then it transforms into holy place. It transforms into Sankirtan and it transforms into deity worship. It's a very, very mystic statement of Prabhupada. This statement I still not fully understood. That Prabhupada says that they become transformed into these things. So it's very important. This we have to take out time for this regularly, especially the householder devotees. They are quite busy in their occupations. So weekly, once, twice, they should take out some time and discuss with some of the devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Because that is the foundation. Otherwise, people are going here, there after some years. Even after 2 second initiation, people are leaving ISKCON and going to Vrindavan doing something. So a lot of things are happening. So that's why we have to be careful. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that the discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam is very effective when we seek, especially seek the society of qualified, right? That's the essence. So it's effective. And purpose of ISKCON is this, Prabhus. Purpose of ISKCON is this. ISKCON is organized for this purpose. And anyone can join. We don't discriminate. And they can take second initiation, become qualified. The first birth, so he's telling to, unless one is twice born, one cannot understand the transcendental characteristic of Lord and his devotees. Right? So, see, this twice born is not just an event of getting the thread. It is about going closer to the qualities of twice born. And then you can understand what is there in Bhagavad. Right? So, Nirmatsaranam Satam or Trinadapi Sunichin. Otherwise, these Bhagavatam activities will be appearing impractical. This is all impractical. Tell something practical, Prabhu. And this is the most practical thing. To practice this third verse is the most practical thing in this world. Like that Param Pujya Bhakti Padma Swami Maharaj said. So we cannot understand this by any other means, educational qualification or whatever. At present moment, throughout the entire world, the educational system is geared to produce Shudras. A big technologist is no more than a big Shudra. Right? So the Krishna consciousness movement has been started especially to create qualified Brahmanas, to broadcast the spiritual knowledge all over the world. Thus, the people may become very happy. So these people only can make others happy, right? Because they are not looking for their own happiness. And they are interested in Krishna's happiness, and in that they are happy, so they can make others happy. That's the whole point. 4950. So this already we saw earlier also. Our fortune was there. This is Shravan Mahina and we are discussing. So there is Falashruti on that. Paurnamasyam Simyavalyam Dvadashyam Shavano Thava Dinakshaye Vyapti Pate Sankrame Arkadine Piva Shavayechadadananam Tirthapada Payadashaya Nechantat Naichastatratmanatmanam Santushta iti siddhati. Yeah, please read.
Persons who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord should recite this narration of Dhruva Maharaj without taking remuneration. Specially, recitation is recommended on the full moon or dark moon day, on the day after Ekadashi, on the appearance of the Shravana star, at the end of a particular tithi, or the association of Vyatipatha.
Occasion of. Yeah.
Or the occasion of Vyatipatha, at the end of month or on Sunday. Such recitation should of course be performed before a favorable audience. When recitation is performed this way without professional motive, the reciter and audience become perfect.
How you see the environment in which the effect will be experienced is told. The speaker and the hearer should be rightly having disposition. So the speaker is not doing something for earning, number one. Number two, the faithful audience is there. If this combination is there, then Krishna will manifest. This is what is told in this verse. So Prabhupada writes in purport. So then reciter and audience will become perfect. So many times we think that if reciter thinks that I am going to make these people perfect, he is not having right spirit. He thinks that actually by reciting, I will go closer to become perfect along with the audience, because there is not much difference between speaking and hearing actually. In a true sense, both are services only. There is nothing higher and lower in one sense. So if both are in right disposition, then both can become perfect. Otherwise, if he is in the mood that, okay, I am the deliverer, then he will remain here. Maybe a sincere hearer will be get delivered. So that is like Rom Harshana side. So it's very important. So Prabhupada writes, professional reciters may ask money to extinguish blazing fire within their bellies, but they cannot make any spiritual improvement or become perfect. So the blazing fire of material existence cannot be removed by this fire of belly. So Prabhupada very strongly writing about that. So the speaker is fully dependent on Krishna if he has family. And if he is renunciate, he is also dependent on Krishna. for his everything, for his memory, for his speech, for his whatever. Completely depending fully on him on personal maintenance or even maintenance of his family. So, so the summary, yeah, please read this, is very important. The audience, the process is summarized. So we have to participate in this process of Bhagavad. Yeah, please read the audience.
The audience must be faithfully receptive to the Bhagavad message, and reciters should completely depend on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavata recitation must not be business. If if done in the right way, not only does the reciter achieve perfect satisfaction, but the Lord also is very satisfied with the reciter and the audience, and thus both are liberated from material bondage simply by the process of hearing.
Yeah, so that is the potency of this process if we participate in this process. So this Shravanam process may appear very simple actually, but it is not done by ears in one sense. It is done by heart actually. So we have to participate in this process where there are at least two people. So you can see this, I think I have shown it, but in essence it is Shravana. So hearing can be done by ears, which we are not talking here. It's a participation where the deep samskaras are dealt with. So Shra means we should have faith. Faithful audience means what? Faith in the Vakta, that he is appointed by someone. Faith on the Vidhi of Shravan and faith on the subject matter of discussion, that is Gita, Bhagavata, or Chantan Chantan. And he has faith on all kinds of Leelas of Lord, beginning with Sushti Leela, Avatar Leela, Kurukshetra Leela, Ras Leela, Radha Krishna Leela, etc. All faith. Then Varan, Va means Varan, means he sincerely tries to receive, sincerely trying to accept whatever is being said. And if he is not able to accept, he submissively inquires with the desire to accept. Varan. And the most important is is Namrata. So Namrata means one keeps aside the commentary of the mind, which is constantly happening. But he hears the message. So this is proper participation, faithful participation, with respect. So when one links one's ears to give oral reception to transcendental vibrations, he can quickly become purified and cleansed in the heart. Lord Chaitanya has affirmed this. Hearing is very important. So there is linking, right? From one mobile to other mobile, if you want to send some file, you have to link, right? Similarly, we have to link with the speaker. Then some transmission can happen. And what is that transmission? His Shraddha, his taste, mercy, interest, inspiration. That is the main thing which we are looking for. Not just some answer, some relief, some information. So it's a very essential aspect of process. So process is powerful and it Prabhupada says the process is simple but application is difficult. So Prabhupada is writing this statement in context of hearing on in the first canto. The first verse on or second or something. So text 51. ज्ञानम् अज्ञानतत्त्वाय यो दद्यात् सत्पथेऽमृतम् कृपालो दीननाथस्य देवस्तस्यानुग्रहणं ते. Yes, ma'am. Is it?
The narration of Dhruva Maharaj is sublime knowledge for the attainment of immortality. Person unaware of the absolute truth can be led to the path of truth. Those who, out of transcendental kindness, take on the responsibility of becoming master protectors of the poor living entities automatically gain the interest and blessings of the demigods.
Yeah. So Maitreya Muni is telling here that it is for everyone. See, only Atma Gyan, like if making people hear knowledge which gives liberation gives such great result, then what to speak of making hear Dhruva Maharaj will give a greater result. Right? That is what is told here. So it is for everyone, Ajnan person also. So great Sage Maitreya therefore recommends that to enlighten people about absolute truth, devotees should preach the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the entire world. That tattva. So, recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to enlighten people about the absolute truth. Although there is no fundamental difference between Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, right? So, but devotee is completely approaching Bhagavan. Prabhupada directly says that. Amritattva is highest Amritattva is Bhagavan understand. And they are real Dinanathas. They are really compassionate souls. So he doesn't have to separately worship demigods. Who is preaching Bhagavatam, he does not need separately to worship demigods. The demigods are automatically pleased with him and offer all blessings within their capacity. Can you imagine the power of Bhagavatam? Generally, people are interested in worshipping demigods, especially Shiva, in order to attain material benefits. But a pure devotee who engages in principle of bhakti prescribed in Bhagavatam, he doesn't need to do all this. He executes pure devotional service. 52, last verse I think. Idam maya te vihitam kurudvaha dhruvasya vikhyata vishuddha karmanah hitvarvakam kridanakani matur griham cha vishnu sharanam yojagama.
The transcendental activities of Dhruv Maharaj are well known all over the world, and they are very pure. In childhood, Dhruva Maharaj rejected all kinds of toys and playthings, left, left the protection of his mother, and seriously took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. My dear Vidura, I therefore conclude this narration, for I have described to you all its detail.
Yeah. So this is famous Dhruva, Vikhyat Vishuddha Karma, Dhruvas. So Prabhupada writes purport on this only, the devotee is famous. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is everlastingly famous. The reputation of Krishna devotee is also everlasting because of these two things. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the fourth canto, 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you.
Grantha
Prabhuji, I have,
Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
yeah.
Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhuji, I have a few announcements for the
Please,
exam.
please go ahead.
So, as everybody knows, we have the exam shloka test coming week, Monday, and then some devotees on Tuesday. So, please be available. I will share the online link, and then, we will go ahead with the examination. So, one request, Samarpan Go Prabhuji. Is it possible for us to get preparatory leave tomorrow?
Yes, Prabhu, that's how I ended this today. So you don't have anything tomorrow.
Okay. So we will be
Yes.
practicing the shloka exams.
That's what I think. Sakshachut Prabhu will be happy to do that.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, recitation, every word of Bhagavatam is powerful. So you are going to recite verses. Remember
Yes.
verses. So it's very powerful. So go ahead. Very nice.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So that's it. If anybody has not filled
Thank you,
the sheet,
Prabhuji.
please do fill it. Okay. So that's the only request. Thank you. So that's all from my side, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So thank you all very much
Thank
for
you, Prabhuji.
the opportunity to serve. This was very nice section. First time I could study because of all of your mercy. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You have some question, Mataji? You have raised
प्रभु
hand.
जी नेक्स्ट टाइम आप हमको मिलोगे ना तो मेरी दीक्षा हुई होगी
Hare
Very
Hare
good.
Krishna. So I pray.
आज आज मैंने थर्ड इंटरव्यू दे के आई हूँ दीक्षा का प्रभु जी 4 4 5 5 इंटरव्यू हो रहे हैं हमारे
Okay, this is, I believe, Param Pujya Jayapatak Swami Maharaj. Is it?
नो प्रभु जी
This is
परम
whom?
पूज्य भक्ति आश्रय वैष्णव स्वामी महाराज
Oh, so
डिसाइपल
4
ऑफ
5 interviews
गोपाल
happen,
कृष्ण
huh?
स्वामी महाराज जी हाँ जी हाँ जी
Oh, so you are already you are in the process of surrender, but you will get a name also next time.
यस
Wonderful. My well wishes and prayers for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Dhanapranam,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare
Dhanavad.
Krishna.
हाँ.
ऑल द बेस्ट माताजी.
थैंक यू माता जी, आशीर्वाद दे दो. अभी डिसाइपल से होना है इंटरव्यू. पता नहीं महाराज होंगे, महाराज लेंगे कि डिसाइपल्स लेंगे. अभी तो श्लोका भी नहीं लर्न हुआ. मैं श्लोका लर्न किए तो वापस सब भूलेंगे. कल हम मूवी
शेयर योर
देखने जा रहे हैं.
नरसिया.
नरसिम्हा. हाँ, आप भी जा रहे हो?
नहीं नहीं.
आपके आसपास भी तो लगी होगी.
कब है दीक्षा माताजी आपकी?
माता जी 10 अगस्त को होनी है, बलराम जयंती के आसपास. बलराम जयंती है ना उनकी?
बलराम जयंती की नेक्स्ट वीक. अच्छा,
हाँ, मतलब ऐसे ही है.
शेयर करो आपका
एंड
आध्यात्मिक में.
हाँ जी, वो तो अभी तो आएगा, अभी नहीं आया.
चलो, ऑल द बेस्ट.
ठीक है, थैंक यू माता जी.
हरे
हरे कृष्णा.
कृष्ण, हरे
धन्यवाद.
कृष्ण.